Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language.
Planet Zoo was originally released in 2019 for the PC, but after an almost 5-year-long wait, it's finally come to the console. Was it worth the wait? Can it live up to the expectations set by the highly successful Planet Coaster console? I want to thank Frontier for providing me with an early access copy of the game for me to review. Planet Zoo was developed by Frontier and is a zoo management simulation game with a strong emphasis on preservation and education. Coming with a wide selection of game modes, this is a game that has a lot to offer. Upon first loading the game, you will be asked to create your avatar, offering a small selection of base avatars and clothing for you to choose from. But as you progress through the game, you will continue to unlock new clothing for you to add. After you've created your character and placing it on the world map, you will come to the home screen where you can choose from a multitude of different play options, including a career mode, time scenarios, franchise mode, and a sandbox mode. All modes offer something different and unique and offer a wide variety of options to play the game.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
For anyone familiar with 2020's Planet Coaster Console Edition, this should once again feel like familiar territory, with controls extremely similar to Planet Coaster. There is a lot of new controls added with Planet Zoo, including 5 different camera modes, which includes the highly requested Cinematic Camera mode. Whilst the game does have a daunting number of controls upon first starting, it does become extremely intuitive and easy to use after a short amount of time, and it won't be long before you'll be flying around your zoos. For anyone concerned about playing with a controller, the game offers full mouse and keyboard support at launch. The game is constantly helping and guiding you with the controls, using tutorials and an extremely helpful control guide every time you pause the game. When starting the game for the first time, I highly recommend you begin your journey with the career mode. The first 3 campaign missions are the game's tutorial missions and will teach you everything you need to know before you venture out into the world building your own zoos. The career mode offers 12 career campaigns for you to work through, increasing in difficulty with more campaigns being added with future DLCs. These campaigns will test everything you have learned and can prove extremely challenging. In multiple campaigns, I found myself having to restart at the beginning, as things in this game can start spiralling out of control extremely quickly. Learning how to balance your finances, meeting your animal welfare requirements, and ensuring your guests are well educated can all start to become overwhelming. Overpopulation in your habitat becomes a constant concern due to your animals breeding so frequently. Taking your eye off the ball even for a few seconds can result in a complete breakdown in your zoo, causing protesters to angrily descend upon your enclosures, unhappy with the way you are caring for your animals. I found myself speeding up time less and less, as even a quick speed up could cause multiple issues to arise, making me need to pause the game to try and rectify all the problems. If these challenges sound too overwhelming, then you can always choose Sandbox Mode, a more relaxed, stress-free option where you can build the zoo of your dreams with unlimited finances and the option to turn off a lot of the settings to make your animals easier to manage.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs.
Things such as habitat requirements, breeding, and even breakouts can all be turned off so you can relax and just build to your heart's content. The big feature in Planet Zoo is the franchise mode. After creating your Frontier account, you will be tasked with creating your own empire of zoos. After choosing a starting biome, you will be placed in an empty map with a limited amount of money to start off. Overspending and overbuilding early on will result in the complete financial failure of your zoo, so playing carefully and patiently at the beginning is essential. In franchise mode, you will build up conservation points for completing various tasks such as releasing animals into the wild, and these conservation points can be used like currency to buy new animals. Some of the best genetic animals will only be available using conservation points, so knowing when to save and when to spend your points is a key element to the road to success. You will find yourself questioning, do I buy this wolf using currency but it has poor genetics, or do I save up conservation points to buy a wolf with better genetics? The choice is yours, and each decision will have a huge impact upon the success of your franchise. The stars of the show must be the animals themselves. The base game offers a huge 75 animals to start with even more animals being added for pre-order bonuses and future DLCs. All the animals are beautifully detailed, even down to the individual scales, whiskers and differing patterns. I can now say with full confidence that zebras are black with white stripes. Planet Zoo offers a wide range of different animal species, from your expected elephants and lions to smaller, more obscure species such as insects and reptiles that go into your exhibits. Speaking of exhibits, I was blown away by how close you could get to even the smallest animals in the game, and how highly detailed they were. You can even see the small scales on the snakes. The detailing is outstanding. Every animal in Planet Zoo requires differing amounts of care and attention, and ensuring that you are constantly using the Zoopedia is essential for making sure you can meet the animal's required needs. This includes the right temperatures, correct foliage, and even down to the amount of paint tool in each habitat. One of the standout features of the game has to be the Zoopedia. As a self-proclaimed animal lover and someone who prides themselves on knowing quite a lot about animals, the amount of new information and facts I've learned from the Zoopedia is staggering. For instance, did you know there are only 562 Siberian tigers left in the wild? Tigers are my favourite animal in the game, and even I didn't know that. The number of facts in the Zoopedia is mind-blowing, and you will find yourself engrossed and losing hours just reading information about the many animals the game has to offer.
You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
But I know why you are all really here. All you really care about is the baby animals, and let me say, you won't be disappointed. The birth of every new animal in your zoo will cause you to drop whatever you are doing and go and welcome the newest little addition. You will call everyone in your household to come and see the miracle and get increasingly frustrated with them if they don't enough for your liking. Who doesn't love baby animals? It really is a marvel, and I've lost count of how many times I've got completely sidetracked from the task at hand just to coo over them. Just wait until you have your first elephant calf. I literally squealed in excitement. The animals in Planet Zoo really are the star attraction of the game, and their animations and behaviours are all unique, and even animals from the same species come in different sizes and colour patterns. You will not get bored of the variety of species the game has to offer, and with even more animals being added in future DLC packs, the variety will only continue to increase. Along with the variety of animals the game has to offer, the number of buildings and building pieces is huge. Unlike Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo has small custom vendor shops that you can then theme and decorate however you choose, enabling you to have so much more freedom and creativity than Planet Coaster allowed. Everything in the game encourages you to experiment and play around with new ideas, and the more you play the game and start to learn the individual pieces, the more detailed your zoos will become. All of the building pieces can be searched for using the easy-to-use search function, so if you wanted to build in a specific theme, the game allows you to do this very easily. Planet Zoo comes with a wide range of themes, and the only real limit will be your imagination. With the high number of pieces at your disposal to use, creating your own individual zoo is never far away and ensures that no two zoos will ever look the same. Planet Zoo comes with a wide variety of terrain options. Countless hours can be spent just sculpting your own biome using a variety of terrain options, paint tools, and water features. The possibilities are almost endless. Something I was extremely excited for was being able to customize my water features, and in Planet Zoo you are able to change the watercolor for each enclosure, making them all unique and different. Planet Zoo also has a dynamic weather system that plays a key aspect into the welfare of your animals. Animals will react differently to the differing weather, such as trying to hide from the rain or trying to find some warmth when it snows. Keeping close tabs on your animals and different weather types is extremely important, and ensuring that animals have the right coolers or heaters is essential for maintaining high animal welfare.
Ah, pandas. They're my daughter's favorite animal. I think it's fair to say that if ever there was an animal which has captured the public's imagination, it's pandas.
The animals in Planet Zoo are a fussy bunch and want nothing more than your full, undivided attention. Imagine when your dog wants you to throw their ball. It's like that, but with an entire zoo full of animals. Making sure your animals are housed in appropriate enclosures becomes one of the most important aspects of the game, and being able to react and evolve with their ever-changing needs is the main gameplay element of Planet Zoo. Every animal in the game has different needs and wants from their enclosures, and using the Zoopedia as your guide, you will start creating magnificent enclosures for each species. Every animal in the game will require a hard shelter, a place where they can escape from the rain, to hide from guests, or to just lie down and go to sleep. Learning what each animal wants and needs from you is an extremely enjoyable aspect of the game, and if you are anything like me, you will want to ensure that every animal has 100% happiness, and will take it as a personal insult when it's anything less. The more you play the game and keep your vets researching each animal, the easier it starts to become to keep every species happy and content. Anyone who played Planet Coaster on console will be all too familiar with the dreaded Oswald percentage counter. For anyone not aware, the percentage counter was a system put in place to ensure that players could not melt their gaming systems by creating 200,000 piece megaparks. Very much like Planet Coaster, the percentage counter once again makes its return, but this time renamed as the Zoo Complexity Meter. In my playtime so far, I've yet to come across a zoo that has surpassed 40% on the Zoo Complexity Meter, and the zoo in question was a medium-sized zoo with a lot of detail and 70 different animals. Whilst I've not had the time so far to test the limits of the percentage counter, I have no doubt that the extremely talented members of our community will find ways to create epic-sized zoos that will way exceed what was possible on Planet Coaster console.
Right. Now that we've got all our urgent tasks in hand, we can start to focus on the guests and improving their time in the park. You see, you can also do research into new and improved guest facilities, transport rides, as well as new types of barrier and other things via the workshop. I've highlighted the workshop for you, so head over there, select it, and then choose View Workshop.
When Planet Coaster came to the console, this was a milestone in gaming, opening console players to a whole new world of creativity not seen before on the console. Whilst the game was extremely successful and created a thriving community that is still going strong even today, the limitations of the game were evident from the very beginning, and a lot of the key features accessible to PC players were unavailable for the console. I am happy to say that a lot of these issues have been resolved with the console version of Planet Zoo, and many features included in the PC edition of the game have carried over into the console. These include the highly requested guest spawner, which allows you to move where the guests for your zoo will spawn. The Move Snap feature seen in Planet Coaster console makes its return and allows for more precision in placing down pieces, which makes building so much quicker and more fluid. There are also some quality of life changes, such as selecting all your members of staff in one group and being able to train them together with one click of a button rather than going through each staff member and leveling them individually. This does bring me to one small critique though, as when building or placing down items, if you do make a mistake and need to undo, you're required to back out of the build menu, press undo, and then go back into the build menu once again. I hope this is something that could be addressed with a future update. The highly successful diorama mode on the PC unfortunately has not made its way to the console. The diorama mode allows you to create singular landscapes or habitats on a small scale map and then save them as blueprints to move into your zoos. It is slightly disappointing we will not be getting this feature, but with the amount of content already available at launch, you won't be short of things to do, and hopefully we will get the diorama mode in a future update.
Welcome to Madagascar. It's quite the change of scenery from dreary old England, huh? Apart from the weather, I suppose. They don't call these places rainforests for nothing.
This game on the console looks sensational, and seeing these animals brought to life in a video game is a sight to behold. The amount of detail everywhere is incredible, and when you start to look closely at some of the interiors of the buildings, you can start to understand why this is a PS5 and Xbox Series X exclusive. Unfortunately, this is where Planet Zoo starts to show some of its initial teething issues. It is worth remembering that this is an early access copy of the game, and some of these issues will hopefully be rectified upon the game's official launch. Whilst the game looks gorgeous, the frame rate can often struggle to keep up, causing short freezes, laggy, unresponsive gameplay, and even crashing the game completely. This has been happening even in small parks with less than 10% on the complexity meter. Upon speaking with the team at Frontier, I was able to make them aware of these issues, and they have confirmed they have found an issue that arises after spending a long amount of time in a single park. The advice for the moment is to ensure that you are frequently saving the game, and about once an hour close the park and then reload it, and this should resolve the problem. Of course this is not an ideal solution, but now they're aware of the issue, they have confirmed to me that they will rectify this as a matter of urgency. Despite these initial teething issues, it has not taken away my enjoyment for the game so far, and in the time of having early access to the game, I've already amassed over 40 hours of game time and almost completed the career mode. I do have full faith that Frontier will be able to fix these issues upon the game's launch, and we will all be playing this game for a long time to come.
Oh dear! It looks like we've arrived just in time. One of the habitat's barriers has collapsed. And wouldn't you know it, one of the bonobos has made a run for it. We'll need to catch them. But before we do, we should box up the other bonobos to stop them escaping too.
With all these animals in the game, the sounds for each animal needed to match their real-life counterparts, and once again, you will not be disappointed. After amassing a few different animals, your zoo will start to hum with different sounds coming from all over. From the roars of your lions to the trumpeting of your elephants and the hustle and bustle of many visitors. All the animals in the game sound incredible, and Frontier really did manage to capture all the sounds that you would expect from a thriving zoo. The music that accompanies the game is a blend of melodic pieces that really suit the style of game, and very much like Planet Coaster's soundtrack, you'll find yourself humming the music long after turning off the game. The sound design of the entire game from load screen and throughout is memorable and fitting. Despite its teething issues, the game is amazing and everything I hoped and dreamed it would be. From the overwhelming amount of variety the game offers to its longevity, this is a game many of us will be playing for years to come. Despite 40 hours of playtime and many late nights the last week, I'm still desperate to continue playing. I'm going to bed thinking about what I could build next, and I found myself this last week thinking about nothing else but Planet Zoo. I still have 3 more campaign missions to finish, and I have big ambitions for a franchise zoo and sandbox zoo. This is a game that continues to deliver, and is a game that once you start playing, won't want to put down. The game always has a feel of, I'll just finish this, or I'll just build that before logging off, and before you know it, it's 3 AM in the morning. The time and dedication Frontier has put into porting this beloved PC game to the consoles is clear, and for everyone who has been desperate for a console edition of Planet Zoo, I can't see you being disappointed. Despite a few initial performance issues that I fully believe will be fixed very quickly, I cannot recommend this game enough. For anyone that has an interest in building, management games, or animals, Planet Zoo is a game that you will keep wanting to return to again and again. I'll be doing a live stream this evening where I'll be showcasing more of the game's features and where I'll be able to answer any questions people may have. Moving forward, the channel will be focusing heavily on Planet Zoo, along with Planet Coaster Console Edition. Once again, thank you so much to Frontier for allowing me to have early access to the game, and I now look forward for all of you to be able to play this game alongside me. Let me know how excited you are for tomorrow. Will you be playing the game at launch tomorrow? Let me know down below in the comments, but I'm going to be back tomorrow with my first episode of my new franchise mode series. Until then, take care, stay safe, look after yourselves, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye everybody!